My coworker kept stealing my lunch, so I made one special delivery that got him fired. I work at a mid-sized law firm where lunch theft had become an epidemic. For 3 straight months, someone was hitting the break room fridge like clockwork. My carefully meal prep containers would disappear between 11:30 and noon every single day. I tried different shelves, hidden spots behind the milk, even a fake lunch as a decoy. Nothing worked. I was spending an extra $15 a day on takeout because some entitled jerk couldn't pack their own food. That's over $300 a month just to eat lunch. I started paying closer attention to people's habits. Most coworkers either brought visible lunch bags or left the building around noon. But Marcus from accounting did neither. Never carried food in, never left his desk. Yet every day around 12:15 he'd be eating at his cubicle. Fresh food, different meals. Always in containers that looked suspiciously familiar. One Tuesday I made my usual grilled chicken wrap, but added special ingredients. I mixed in an entire bottle of sugar-free gummy bears, the Haribo kind with detailed warning labels about extreme digestive distress. Then I added a generous coating of ghost pepper hot sauce, the kind that requires you to sign a waiver at restaurants. I wrapped everything beautifully and labeled it Marcus Special Lunch in bold letters. At 11:45 I positioned myself where I could monitor the break room on my phone. At exactly 11:52 Marcus walked in, looked around, opened the fridge, saw my container with his name on it and smiled. He grabbed it and walked straight back to his desk. I gave him 30 minutes to eat, and I waited and watched. At 12:35 Marcus stood up quickly, too quickly. He speed walked toward the bathroom with his hand on his stomach. He came back 10 minutes later looking uncomfortable. This pattern continued for the next hour. By 1:45 his face was pale and sweating. His dress shirt had visible sweat marks. His manager Ken stopped by and asked if he was okay. Marcus insisted he was fine, just a little under the weather, but he had important reports due. Ken looked skeptical but walked away. The bathroom trips intensified. Every 15 minutes like clockwork. By 3 a.m. Marcus was practically gray. His hands were shaking. Other people in his section were starting to notice and whisper. Ken came back around 3:30. Marcus, you need to go home. You look terrible. But Marcus refused. Said he couldn't afford to miss work, that he was already on thin ice for performance issues, so he stayed, suffering visibly at his desk. At 4 p.m. I made my move. I walked past his cubicle and glanced at his trash can. There it was, my blue container with the Marcus Special Lunch label clearly visible. I reached down and pulled it out in front of him and 3 nearby coworkers. Hey Marcus, this is my lunch container. Why is it in your trash? He froze. His face went from gray to red. I found that in the break room trash. I held up the container. The food inside was barely touched. Still fresh. Definitely not from a trash can. The label with his name was right there for everyone to see. Ken heard the commotion and walked over. What's going on here? I turned to Ken. This is my lunch. I made it this morning. Put it in the fridge at 9 a.m. At noon, Marcus took it. Now it's in his trash. This is the 15th time my lunch has been stolen in 3 months. Ken looked at Marcus. Is this true? Marcus stammered. I thought someone said it had my name on it. I pulled out my phone and showed Ken my documentation. Photos of every lunch I'd made for 3 months. Time-stamped pictures. Detailed ingredient lists. Grocery receipts showing I'd purchased the specific containers. Everything organized in a folder labeled lunch theft evidence. Ken's expression changed from annoyed to serious. Come to my office, both of you. Now, in his office, Ken asked me to explain everything. I showed him the pattern. Lunches disappeared only on days Marcus was in the office. I'd tested it by bringing lunch on his vacation days and nothing was ever taken. Ken pulled up Marcus's file. Then he asked Marcus directly, how long have you been taking extended lunch breaks? Marcus went silent. Ken continued, because according to your time card, you've been clocking 2-hour lunches, but charging the firm for full work days. That's when everything unraveled. Marcus had been falsifying his time cards for 6 months. He'd leave at 11 for 2-hour lunches. He didn't log, only working 5 actual hours while getting paid for 8. He was stealing nearly 4 hours of paid time every week. The lunch theft was the evidence that exposed everything. HR audited his time card history, checked his building access logs against reported hours. Marcus was terminated that Friday, escorted out by security. The firm reimbursed me $200 for stolen meals and installed new cameras in the break room. Now when I put my lunch in the fridge, nobody touches it. Everyone knows what happened to the last person who did.